Thank you very... Oh, gas escaping from my body even as I'm trying to communicate. Ugh, my sincere apologies.
Quirked up white boy with a little bit of swag. Busted down sexual style. Is he considered? Goated.
Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Birds are singing, the sun is shining. We are, after all, on a big chunk of rock that's orbiting a nuclear furnace, so I would hope it's shining. But there is cloud cover that will be, perhaps, burning off. It's going to be getting into the high 70s, projected forecast today, so thumbs up for that. I actually slept last night, went to bed a little bit early, right around 11-ish, was tired. Lately, it's been midnight or so before I get to bed. And I slept. That was good. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Not feeling too bad today physically, not too bad mentally. That's definitely a thumbs up as well. So hopefully you too are feeling good. And of course, front loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like if you like what you hear and see, that'd be very cool. If you like what you hear and see, if you could also subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, that too would be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, very cool. I appreciate that. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people help to keep me and my pets alive. And my little hamster Ghost, well, I don't think he could survive being homeless like me. So without these people's help, even Ghost would not be doing well. If you would like to help me out, I have links to the Patreon in the show more on the video description. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there are links to a PayPal. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, there's links to an Amazon wish list with stuff like cat food on it. So thumbs up for that. And hey, front loading of videos over. Thank you, YouTube algorithms. Son of a gun. It is indeed a brand new day. Yesterday it was warm. I didn't do a ton because of the heat. And it's only going to get worse as it gets hotter. I mean, the heat this is going to be the coolest summer we've ever had. And already there are like almost 2,000 people who have died in Europe. And they do not have homes that are built for this kind of heat in places like Britain. People are dying from the heat, and this is going to be the coolest summer we have going forward. So, yay for that. But life is life, and I'm continuing to try and play what video games I can. I've been playing Astro Near, which, they've been making changes to it, so that's a definite thumbs up. Replaying Postal 2, because as silly and bizarre as that game is, really the violence that you can undertake in it is all dependent on you. You can pretty much do this without initiating combat yourself. You don't have to be a psycho in the game Postal 2. You don't have to. You can be a law-abiding citizen as best you can. Now, you're still going to be getting into combat because others are going to initiate it against you. So, you're going to have to engage in combat to escape with your own life that way. And you're going to run across various psychopaths throughout the town where you're going to have scripted events and such where you need combat to get out of it. But in none of these situations is it shown as you initiating it and then going from there. No, you're actually kind of the hapless person who shows up and just goes, I don't understand why everything is falling apart around me. But you're not afraid to just pick up the nearest weapon and wade into the carnage. And then you will come out triumphant and you wander into the next thing. You don't have to be a psychopath. Of course, you can be, and that's fine. In the first game, Postal 1, you were the aggressor. In Postal 2, you're kind of the wandering, I'm not sure what's happening person. 3, nobody talks about because it doesn't exist. And 4, he's more of the hapless, I'm showing up just trying to survive. All this is happening around me. I don't understand why, but there's blood to be shed. Cha-cha. So, it's fun, and definitely a good thing. I've been listening to music as best that I can, And then I went walkies last night, of course, up to Walmart and back, a good 6 mile, two hour trip. Thumbs up. And with the Wellbutrin, I am still getting the longer term memory back, where things that I have thought about the previous night, I can remember the next day. It's still taking a little more work than I like, but the fact that I can do it at all is awesome right there. Hokey smokes. So I'm going to be, having looked at my list down here, I want to talk about this one first, but because I still have partially untreated, I have rather severe ADHD, so even being treated, I am still 500 ping pong balls in a wind tunnel instead of 2,000. But I watched videos on goats, and I love baby goats, and there was a whole bunch of baby goats, and baby goats wag their tails, and as children, baby goats wagging their tails is just a sign of affection. They're happy to see you, they're happy to see things, they wag their tails, they're happy to see. When they get older, that falls off, and really it's only the female goat that'll wag her tail, and usually she just does that when she's in heat, just to let all the other goats around know that she's available. So when they get older, wagging the tail becomes more utilitarian. They will occasionally wag their tails very brief, short periods to show that they're happy. Like if they see you, they'll wag their tail real quick and then be done because, they're happy. And then they're finished. But baby goats, they're wagging their tails all over the place as they bounce and jump. They are so awesome. Thumbs up for that. Now, back to this, because I have been thinking of various creative things for my inside-outside Razor's Edge Cryptid project, and I've got cryptid stuff that I want to talk about, as well as stuff with the kaiju. I've talked about how it's usually people have no even knowledge that it's there, and usually for you see it, it's all on the Apple Rock layer. This is the layer that it first showed up on, where the door to the outside and the inside attached to that layer, and it's always been that layer ever since. And so the kaiju stays on this layer on Apple Rock because that's where it first showed up, and it's become its home, and it stays in this area and does all this stuff because of that. Now if I can just remember what I was talking about. Yes, the people and things around are really just toys, because one of the things that leads to the kaiju being able to explode most of the city when the current rampage happens doesn't explode most of the city. It takes out the parts of the infrastructure that would be able to stop or help the situation. Anything that would help people from being eaten exploded. So boom. But what happened, there was 125 years ago, there was a family, Banneker family, and they were just in this society of Apple Rock, especially at that time, they were more socialistic. Anybody could get rich to a degree. There was a cap on rich. Nobody really got poor. Society takes care of you. If you take care of the community takes care of you. And so nobody's going to starve, especially in that. Now, how did the Banneker family get their capital? Likely it was the kaiju manipulating the entire bloodline to get them into the position where they could do all of these projects, putting in things in the city. But first, the kaiju took just one person because it needed a wandering trader and put on the pressure to force this person to become a trader. What would they have become in their lives without the kaiju pushing them? Who knows? And when the kaiju needed them to go to one place and pick up this one thing that happened to be infected with a certain type of fungal spore, well, they went there and they got infected. And then they took that thing to the Banneker family in Apple Rock, and they got infected. And they became much more inclusive and paranoid and weird. And they started spending a lot of money and doing all sorts of projects. One of them was retrofitting all of their facilities with natural gas. And the town was being plagued with a series of earthquakes at the time. The Banneker family took care of that, put on all these bores throughout the city, and with the iron and concrete berms in place to reinforce, the earthquakes became much less of a problem. Sure, they stopped the earthquakes then and became shotgun barrels in 125 years. And then, of course, when the Banneker family was no longer useful, they all died from the fungal infection. So the entire bloodline was manipulated just so that the kaiju could explode parts of the city, and when their use was done, they were just left to die. And the trader, their entire life was manipulated just to get the Banneker family infected. And when that happened, they were just left to die from the infection. The kaiju doesn't look upon people as anything more than just pawns and something to fill its belly with. It is a bastard. And then, of course, I've been talking about this as well. There is the whole mental illness thing. As a person who becomes a cryptid, if you are, it doesn't matter your mental state, whether you are mentally ill under a whole lot of just pressure, or if you have managed to integrate your cryptid within you. There are 3 general ways that you can talk to your cryptid, because it's a part of you, but it's not really. Under times of great stress, the cryptid part of you can use that to effectively go over the top of the wall, separating you and it, and talk. Always stressing that you are it is you. There you are together, one integrated personality. They can do that with mental illness. It lowers the walls of resistance. And if you are not mentally ill or such, you can use guided, meditation, along with hypnotherapy and such, to talk to your cryptid. Now that's if you just have mental illness. If your if your cryptid has a mental illness, that's bad. Because cryptids on the mental illness scale will fall anywhere from dumb dangerous to smart dangerous. If your cryptid part is mentally ill and is just dumb dangerous, it is just going to be screaming at you constantly because it wants to get out and kill. And it will be screaming at you 24/7. Try sleeping. You can't. Try concentrating. You can't. Try doing anything at all. You can't with that constant screaming. To the smart dangerous, where your cryptid part is effectively 4 steps ahead of everything, like Hannibal Lecter in the movies and the TV series stuff. Always smart, 4 steps ahead of you. You think you're going to catch this person. Oh, they've already planned for the thing that you're working on. Yeah, they planned on that a long time ago. And if you've got that kind of cryptid, it is, again, try to relax when this person inside of you is always saying, I don't understand why you feel any sort of affection towards these human creatures around you. You are a cryptid. We are a cryptid. We are different. Unless you specifically get into another human being, lovely dentures, unless you specifically get into another person's face, they will not see you or be able to interact with you in any way. You have no connection to any of these creatures. And because of that, there is no linking of anything that we do as a cryptid back to this form. Because of that, we have no fear of any earthly authorities. The lives of these creatures around you don't matter. It doesn't matter if they live or die. So let me drive this car so I can kill them. There is nobody that can withstand this form of psychological attack for long, where it's just constant while you're sleeping, while you're awake. This is what they use to torture people with, to break them. You can't. You will break. You will fall. And my cat is decided she wants in. You are so annoying sometimes. Now if I can try and remember where I was. If you've got that constant yelling at you, even just as a talk like that, you will break. You cannot withstand that. There is nobody that can withstand that form of psychological attack for long. You will rest. And while you're resting, your cryptid will pick up the keys for the vehicle and they'll drive while you sleep. And oh, you'll find out the damage when you wake up. So thumbs up. The screaming at you until you finally give up, cryptid, is probably worse in that fashion, because it's just that screaming until you finally just go, I'm sorry, just let me sleep, let me rest, let me do anything, just please. Luckily, after the cryptid drives the vehicle for a while, they are sated, and the screaming stops, the talking stops, until they get hungry again. That's fun. Yeah, life sucks if you have a mentally ill cryptid, because I talked about, without this further part of the understanding, I had mentioned how that there would be like a younger person who's just less than a year into having their cryptid genome express itself, and they would be like rocking in the dark underneath bleachers at a public thing where they are just trying to make their cryptid shut up because it wants to get out there and start killing. Oh, you just need to let me go so I can do it. Please. Yeah, you've got no connection to humanity anymore. The bulk of humanity will never be able to perceive you as anything more than a monster if they can. There's no real connection. Are you going to let go? And let go of that bit of humanity still within you? Or do you fight your cryptid? And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, well, you've already seen how my brain works. Or doesn't. Or tries to. Adrian, thumbs up, thank you very, very much, and good to see you in the comments. Sebastian Ferris, hopefully you'll be able to see this, and hopefully things are going well for you in your overseas trip. There is Oliver Testevin, thumbs up, thank you very, very much, and fentanyl is a horrible, horrible thing. It works real well in a medical setting. Outside of that, fentanyl kills. Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up, and good to see you in the comments, my friend. We have Confused Owl 29, and good to see you in the comments as well. Thumbs up and thank you. Zachary Sawicki, thumbs up and thank you. We have JAYY. Hopefully I did a good job with my explanations today, and thank you very, very much. We have Stephen Blanchard, greatly appreciated, and good to see you in the comments. There is Roner Talo, thumbs up. We have Drum_Dragon, greatly appreciated. And oh, itchy upper lip. There is Loco5, good to see you in the comments as well. Ben B, good to see you. Thumbs up, definitely. We have Tony Bennett, greatly appreciated. And that is it. 12 people who left me, 13. Excuse me. 13 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. If even for a short time you get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only in text, it is appreciated. Thank you very... gas escaping from my body even as I'm trying to communicate. My sincere apologies. I can't even remember what I was saying. So, hopefully you're going to be able to do the things that you need to get done. Hopefully I'm going to be able to do at least some of the things that I need to get done. That would be a good thing for all of us. Definitely a thumbs up on that. And of course, with the covfefe bug raging, along with things like monkeypox out there, please take care of yourself and others around you. Take appropriate and smart precautions for your situation. You don't need to throw your body or anybody else's body onto the end-of-life corpse pile before it's time. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.